Traffic, driving in the traffic. Hey, it was popular, everybody. What's going on? So, I want to talk to you guys about something that I feel is important. And there are so many things I talk about that's important, but this is something I feel is really important. Okay, so I went and saw Birth of a Nation last week, and there's been this big push for it. There was a big push for it out in the community. It's been a big push for it in the community, and a lot of people, Nate Parker came on the radio here in Georgia on our radio stations, and our radio stations were like, hey, everybody go out and see this movie, blah, 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 blah. I went and saw the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a really good movie. Totally, far more than I expected, far better than I expected, and was handled perfectly. It was perfectly executed. You know what I'm saying? All the way through the board, because it's a movie where it's not just showing like the misery and the oppression. It's showing the will to survive, the will to be free, the will to stand up, and then actually acting on it. So it's not a victim movie. You know what I'm saying? And I have to say, man, I am quite let down by what's coming out of it. I'm quite let down by the coverage of it, and straight up and down, I'm quite let down by our lack of support for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said it before in my reaction video. It's going to be very interesting to see who shows up and who turns out for the movie, right? And I also addressed that I did not expect. I'm not to be honest. I didn't expect a bunch of. I didn't expect white people to come out. I didn't expect most people from other races to come out. I just didn't, because it's a fucking movie about slavery, right? So I didn't expect it. But what I did expect was for the black community to support it. And man, it's just not getting the support at all, and that's terrible. And the reason that I'm hearing from people, that I'm seeing, that I'm reading in popular media and all of this, in the social tweets and all of that crap, is I don't want to see another slave movie. We done more than being slaves and all of this crap. That's a bull crap. That's a bull crap statement right there, because when bullcrap movies come out that we have, like little drama movies, the man bashing movies, the yo baby mama, cause his baby mama with a dress on, dude got a dress on, and all of this crazy stuff. Oh, we turned out for that. We turned out for that like heavy, man. We fucks with that real heavy. But when something important, cause it's not even just this movie. We have another movie that came out, and no one's turning out for that one either. And it's an intellectual movie though, right? So one would argue that, oh, we're down for the bullshit, but we're not down for our history. We're not down to support our community where it counts. And man, whether you realize it or not, that sends a serious message. Because when you're constantly arguing and fighting and complaining and crying about, well, we don't have this, we don't have that, we're not getting this, we aren't getting that, we don't have this, no, we don't have this kind of representation and all of this shit, but then you don't turn out for what counts, man. It makes the point mute. It makes the point moot. Like, it's like, what are you arguing for? You're not supporting your own shit, man. That validates bigoted comments that you hear come out so much about, well, if you want to see change, do something in your community. Stop complaining about it. Do something, do something, such and such. You know what I'm saying? What about black on black crime? What about black on black crime? You complain about police officers. What about all these people that got killed in Chicago and all of this stuff, right? You validate those arguments. You might be like, what you talking about right now, Brave? What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? You might be like that right now because you're like, that's a movie and this is that. Nah, man, nah. Because the movie is very inspirational, and it shows our earliest heroes. It shows our earliest superheroes. It shows our earliest leadership. You know what I'm saying? And you don't turn out for that, but you go and watch the bull crap, man. I don't get it. Listen, go watch the movie, man. Support the movie. Support Nate Parker. Support the movie. Support our community. Support our history, because it is our history, man. Like I said it before, if you go and you'll watch Braveheart, right? And you say, Braveheart's my movie, blah, 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 blah. It's my movie, 300's my movie, all this shit. But you won't watch this movie. What is that saying, man? It's echoing that self-hate, that lack of self-appreciation, that lack of support for each other. That's interwoven all through that, man. We can't be failing ourselves like this, but then expecting something to come out of it. Our celebrities, our stars who we look to, I guess, or I guess who y'all look to for leadership, even when you hear them saying that shit, like, oh man, we done, especially like rappers, man, y'all can shut that shit up. It's a lot of rappers that I really like and really have been a fan of for some time now. But when you come out and you're like, man, I don't want to go see that. We done more than been slaves. Motherfucker, you done more than sold drugs. You haven't shot all these motherfuckers you rapping about. But we continue to hear songs about that. You're a millionaire right now. You guys are millionaires, right? Off of the dollars of your community, right? Of the people in your community who are still getting in this trouble, especially these young kids, listening to your shit, trying to live a life that you ain't even living anymore if had ever been lived before, right? And you're still rapping about the same bullshit. Right? The same bullshit, dog. The same bullshit. But you ain't got tired of rapping about that. At no point have you said, oh man, we done been more than drug dealers. We done been more than stripping freaking hoes in the club, and our women done been more than strippers on the pole. Nah, every motherfucking song is about a bitch on the pole. Every motherfucking song is about a body shooting, you know what I'm saying, savages and turning up and all of that shit. So I don't want to hear that shit, man. I don't want to hear that shit, dog. What's real is we don't support ourselves, period. That's what's real, and that's sad, man. And the worst part is that you're missing out on something because it's not what you think it is. I went into the theater thinking I was going to prepare myself for all of this nigga bashing, nigga hanging, nigga cutting. And though there was some of that in there, no, undoubtedly, right? It wasn't like that. It wasn't done like that. And for my white brothers and sisters who didn't want to go see the movie, because I don't want to go see the movie, dogging out the white man, telling me I'm a racist. It's not even just that either. I mean, obviously there's some of that because those were the times, right? But then it shows light, it adds light on the way, listen, the movie shows how slavery affected everyone in America. And it speaks to the issues that we have right now today. You know what I'm saying? That we're still dealing with, and we don't know why things are the way they are. We're coming up with statistics and this reason and that reason, not considering that certain things are, we're carrying a certain trauma because of a time frame in history, and it still affects our culture and society to this day. I know a lot of you are afraid to talk about it, afraid to really look at it, and some of you are just so ignorant that you don't know nothing about it and don't want to think about it. Don't know, don't want to know. But we're selling ourselves short, man. We're selling ourselves short. You know, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. But here's what's up, man. You'll never see a movie about it. You can't complain about not knowing your history and not having this and not having that. And this is why you act the way you act. You can't complain about that if when opportunities provide itself for you to gain information on your history, to gain history, and you don't take advantage of it. I know for a fact that most of us were not taught about Nat Turner. I had to go and read about Nat Turner on my own. And the first book that I ever read about Nat Turner wasn't even real. It was a fiction. It was a bullcrap slander. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people who read about Nat Turner read that thinking that's the story of Nat Turner, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I want more for us. I want more for my kids, but it's not just a matter of what I want for my kids and my family. It's a matter of what we want for our community. Because until we go back to that, nothing's going to change. The movie speaks about community. It speaks about family. It shows you traditions from our time that I didn't even know that we had. I didn't know that. And this is straight up and down. I don't mind saying I didn't know. I did not know that when the slaves came over, right? There were generations of slaves later who were still upholding African traditions. I didn't fucking know that. You know what I'm saying? I never even thought about it, never even conceived of it. And you see a portion where his great grandma passes on because she's old, right? She passes on, and and so when they bury her, they make her little tomb thing or whatever, her little tombstone thing, her little grave marker. They carve African, it's like a cross, right? But it's got like an African sculpt to it, right? With like the face and detailing of it or whatever. And I was like, wow. And in that one scene, that one little instance showed me that our people still honored traditions from before. You know, it wasn't lost to them right off the bat. And it's not that it may not be a big magical thing to anyone, but the idea that I had not considered that, not even considered that. When I'm thinking slavery, I'm just thinking slavery. You know what I'm saying? That was intense, man. The idea that this young man started teaching himself to read. You know what I'm saying? He started teaching himself to read, and then the master of the plantation, his wife, saw that he was able to read, he was sounding out words. She gave him a test, and then she took him into her home and she started teaching him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's a lot more. It's many more levels to the movie. It shows how back then it wasn't like, you know, you just go grab a chick and you just go knock her off because you want to fuck her. She got some big titties and big ass and titties. You know what I'm saying? Because she's on a stripper pole. You can take her home for the night. And it don't matter if she got a man. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He courted her, right? And then he risked his life. He goes to her and he proposes to her and he marries her. You know what I'm saying? They showed two different traditions, early traditions of our way of getting married. The jump in the broom, which you've heard. You turned out for that movie, right? Because I guess it's got to have certain people in it for you to turn out, right? It's got to have a certain amount of mess in it for you to turn out. You turn out for that, right? But you don't turn out for this. I don't know. There's so much more there, dude. There's so much more there. And the scene where he finally comes, his wife is, just put out there, his wife is raped and she's beaten. And she is hurt. And he goes to her, you know, because he leaves his planet, he goes to his master, and who used to be his childhood friend, right? He gets the pass to go over to see his wife because she went with the master's daughter when she was married off, right? And he goes to see about his wife, and he's laying there, he's talking to her, her face is all fucked off, right? Beat up and shit, and he tells her, I need you to tell me who did this. I'm gonna fix this. He's a slave. He's a slave. Sorry for the son. He's a slave. But he tells her, I need you to tell me who did this. I'm going to go and fix this. And he's hot, like any man, any husband would. You know what I'm saying? And she tells him with all her battery, took all her strength, right? And she reaches her hand up and she touches him and she says, no, I need you here. Meaning, because she knows if you go and try and do that, they're going to kill you. You're going to get hung for this. So she tells him, no, promise me you won't. I need you here. And the way he breaks, because imagine you're a husband and the woman, this is your world. Your wife is your world. You know what I'm saying? Your wife, your spouse is your world. Even if you guys got the girlfriend, serious girlfriend, which is wifey, you know. And another thing, this movie touches on why it's important to have that. You know what I'm saying? I think we've subbed out wifey, girlfriend, and totally got away from like our families. And this is another reason why our community is suffering, right? Not even just our community. I think in this generation, in this day and age, all communities are suffering from the lack of care for serious, like for marriage, relationships, family life. You know what I'm saying? But fine. So she reaches up and she tells him, no, you got to promise me you won't. You got to promise me you won't. And this brother breaks down like any man would. White, black, Asian, whatever the fuck, Indian, Kuwaitian, whatever. He breaks down, like, and he has to swallow that, and he has to promise because he loves her more than anything. You know what I'm saying? The movie is very powerful, and it's not just about slavery. It is wrapped around it. That is the deal. There's no lying about it. But there are so many values in this movie that seem to be missing now, and you're missing out on it because you don't want to go see another slave movie because we done more than that. Oh yeah, we got a movie about a young African girl who's a chess master, extremely intelligent. That movie's doing bad too, because you motherfuckers ain't turning out. Did we do more than be chess masters? Or is it because there ain't no guns in it, there ain't no drugs in it, there ain't no Sanaa Lathan showing her ass in it, there ain't no I hate men in it, there ain't no women as bitches in it? You know, what is it? What is it? Or maybe there ain't no sci-fi effects in it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Y'all do better, man. Do better, man. Fuck, do better, dog. Do better. I'm out.